Morning. I'm out of breath. I was outside planting a few vegetables. I am really good at starting the vegetables in the seed trays. Real good. Yeah, real good. Those are seed trays that were neglected. And there's about 3 or 4 spinaches that are hanging on for dear life. Okay, so that being said, I had a car accident about 6 to 8 weeks ago. September 22nd. I hit some gravel going around a curve and overcorrected and fell off down a 20-foot embankment. And so I've had back issues for the last 8 weeks. The first 3 weeks I could barely walk. I injured my spinal cord below the T11, T12 vertebrae. So with that comes a lot of symptoms that I've had to manage the last 8 weeks. And it's been very difficult to get those situated, and I'm still having a hard time getting my symptoms under control. I started therapy yesterday, physical therapy. They gave my body time to heal up a little bit from the wreck, and so we started physical therapy yesterday. I'm so sore today, I could barely get around. But I went down there outside to my garden, squatted down and planted some plants. Now, I've had 3 or 4 flats of plants out there for a month, and they need to be transplanted. Well, 2 weeks ago, I became ill with the stomach virus that's going around right now. So it seems to me like I've been hit one thing right after another. And I kind of feel if it's maybe not a punishment, but a test to me to see how I'm going to make it through. And I didn't do too well a couple weeks ago. Friday was probably the first day after the family left for their job and school that I got out of bed and stayed out of bed. It's been pretty bad with my health lately. So I've had a lot of things to talk about the last couple of weeks that have been in my head. No, I don't know if anyone else struggles with this. Perfectionism. Okay? And I have a hard time getting things done because I need them to be perfect. And so in lieu, if they can't be perfect, I kind of become crippled and freeze because it's just so overwhelming right now. And I think I've come to the realization that either the house can be clean, the supper can be cooked, and the home life be as best as I can get it, which is pretty darn good. Or I can bring in a check and things can be not so perfect, not so clean. I do manage to keep the dishes done and the laundry done. It's just the little things around the house, like picking up. Like the table's kind of a wreck right now. It's got mail on it, but that's okay. I'm really working on this perfectionism thing. I'm fixing to show you something that just gets all over me right now. I've decided to use pill bottles for seed holders because they're so convenient, and you get a lot of them, or no, some people get them. The older you get, the more of them you have. Seems to me. Woohoo! So I got these French breakfast radish seeds in here. And I have a whole tray out there of radishes. I don't know why I seeded radishes in a tray, because it's way more difficult to transplant radishes than it is to stick this little seed in the ground. Also, I have beets growing out there. You guys, I can't tell you how much I enjoy beets. I mean, I really, really, really do. Pickled beets, baked beets, beet soup, borscht. It's got beets in it, carrots in it. It's got a real beefy broth base. And it has stew meat in it, or, you know, roast meat, whatever kind of meat you want to cut up and put in little chunks, like bite-sized chunks. And you cook it in the slow cooker. Boy, when you serve it, you put a little dollop of sour cream on it and stir it in, and it's like eating purple soup. Like, my favorite color is purple. I don't know about y'all. My favorite color is purple. So eating purple soup is kind of really a big deal to me. It is. Okay, I digress. Okay, so these French breakfast radishes are in here. Okay, so, oh, this is just hanging out. I found this yesterday. It's a fruit and flower fertilizer. Yeah, so I got this for free from AgroThrive. I bought a quart-sized jar of their all-purpose fertilizer, and it's fish emulsion. Fantastic stuff. But you have to dilute it. You have to test the dilutions, because I burnt some plants one time, and whew, you don't want to do that. Okay, so this one is fruit and flower. I'm going to try that later. That's really neat. And they just threw this in. They threw in a shirt too. Like, I think for free. For like $5. It was awesome. Okay, so this. And I got this French breakfast. Pickling cucumbers. Cilantro, which is really nice. I've got cilantro growing out there right now. It is fall in Oklahoma right now. It is November 10th-ish. And so it's drizzling rain, and it's going to rain the next few days. It's also going to freeze, but if you put seeds in the ground right now here, like, they will come up. Now, growing will be slow, and you may not get anything, but if you don't put a seed in the ground, you won't get anything. But if you go ahead and put that seed in the ground and try, you're going to get something at least. It might be small. It may just be some leaves, but it's worth trying. Okay, so here is where my OCD comes in and the perfectionism. I don't have all the same size containers. It drives me crazy. It drives me crazy. Okay, so these are dark red Detroit beets. And I have stragglers. I have this little bitty piece of seed that I couldn't fit in there. Because I'm telling you, I stuffed this sucker full. I don't think I can get another seed in there. So anyway, I'm going to take them other beets outside. Oh, pardon me. I'm going to take the rest of those beets outside that's in that package and try to plant them. And see if they'll come up in this weather. Because my other beets did come up. Now, I'm going to tell you, they've been planted for over a month. I'm not lying. And I watered those suckers like for 5 days straight. But I guess the conditions just weren't right to germinate. So now it's been like 80 degrees, 70 degrees, overcast, rainy, kind of drizzly, miserable, romantic weather. Romantic? Oh, so anyway, so the beets are germinating now. So I had to go out there and thin them out. Because I just planted a whole bunch of seeds hoping, please let these germinate, please. And they did. Okay, so OCD, I have to deal with that. Okay, and so just I have all my little seeds in these containers. And what I used, what I used to label them with is just Sharpie. But okay, I got these little labels from work. I get a lot of them for free. So I use those for a lot of stuff. Jelly and these. But what's even fancier, if you have the package that they came out of, you know, you can put the actual package on there. And what I did was I covered it up with plastic tape, just, you know, Scotch tape to keep it on there. And that looks nice. You can really read that. You can read that a lot better than you can read this. And if this gets wet, it's going to smear. But I get these types of seeds in this type of package. Let me tell you. from the farm store. Remember where you get your feed at? Not Atwoods or like Tractor Supply. Like, I'm talking about the feed store out by the sale barn. You know what I mean. And that's what they look like. So I just cut this off and I pour these in a container, and then I put this on here and just put plastic tape on it to hold it all good. And I'll go ahead and cover the whole thing because I'm OCD. And if I put tape on one part of it, it has to go all over it. That's just how my brain works. Okay. So OCD and stuff. Last night, I went through and I put all my seeds in order. And this is like the entirety of my seeds. Seriously. And you know, I want a bigger seed collection. I do. But at the moment, the feeding seeds, that's what I call feeding seeds. Your local feeding seed, whatever. They don't have much of a choice because they get all their seeds in the spring. So I wouldn't suggest hoarding seeds from the from your feeding seed, like one of each or like one of what you're going to grow. If you know you love beets, try to grow beets. If you know you love carrots, try to grow carrots. But if you're not a kale fan, don't grab the kale seeds because somebody else wants them. But you know, I really encourage you to try fresh kale in your garden because it will last in the refrigerator for weeks. You know that kale you get from the store, you bring it home from Walmart or wherever you get your groceries. And like, you're like, it says, oh, I'm great. This kale looks beautiful. Oh, this kale's great. You put it in an ice box. And I'd be darned, if it ain't like 5 days later, it is starting to mush. And it could be all of it mushing, could be parts of it mushing, but it's starting to mush around the outside, you know. And once that happens, it will infect the whole bag. Now, you don't want that. Fresh kale lasts weeks. I'm telling you, weeks. I think I've had a fresh bag of kale. Because, I mean, I got busy and didn't cook it. I had a fresh bag of kale in my refrigerator for 2 to 3 weeks, and it was still good. Yeah, serious. It was, I mean, I know some people like hate kale. Try kale chips. Try kale in soup. Try fresh kale. Try kale in a smoothie. If you've got those Vitamix blenders, I don't. I ain't got nothing that fancy. I think I got a Ninja, and it was really good at first, but it's kind of dull now, so not so good. So try kale in a smoothie. I encourage you to try leafy greens, because they are so healthy for you. They've got so many vitamins for your body. You'll really be healthy, a lot more healthy, if you start including leafy greens. I'll show you a pumpkin I really want to grow next year. It's called Casper. It's this white pumpkin. And these are old seeds. They're from 2019, so they're 3 years old. And they weren't stored in the best conditions when I got them. They were in like a hot little shed. So I haven't had a lot of luck germinating them, but hopefully I will in the fall. But so this is kind of like my seed bank. And I would really encourage people, you guys watching, to start trying to grow something. If you don't have land, try growing in a pot. You know, there's so many different, oh look, it fits, look. Ooh, that makes my little heart happy. It fits in my little canning jar thing. Oh, that's great. I even fit my little thing in there. Well, I was going to put some seeds in here and show you how I do it. I'll misplace my scissors. Oh well. Let's go ahead and see if we can put some seeds in here. Let me see. These look like they'll fit. Okay, so dark zucchini squash. What I'll do is, since I can't find my scissors, just kind of tear that off. We'll go get some scissors. Okay. So, one of these little package of squash seeds fit perfectly in here. Now, I'm telling you, I can't find my scissors and I'm out of tape. So, what I'll do for now is I'm just going to squash this up, roll it up, and stick it in there until I can label it later, essentially. You know, I'm just label it with that. Okay, so, and that's so perfectly neat, and it stands up, and it's really portable. Like when you go to plant, you can just take your little bottle out there. Easy, easy peasy. All right, you guys, if you have any hints to help my little OCD heart, I really appreciate it. I'm really trying to get a handle on this stuff recently and make my life better. So, and I'll be crippled by like, I can't do everything, so I'm not going to do anything. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about. I love you guys. From the bottom of my heart, grow something for yourself.